is as bad as I've seen it in 23 years covering this team.
It's a clueless, though. Really, it's clueless.
It's just bad in so many ways and in so many corners. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. And I get the impression, and I'm there a lot, I was there again last night, that the people at the very top, they don't get it. I don't know that they see that there's the problem that we see. They think the culture is fine. They think the way they go about their business is fine. They think the way they treat the fans is fine.
What would you guess the crowd was last night? You were there.
Well, it was a bad night again.
Well, I know that.
It was a cold and drizzling
Sure.
night. I would say there were about, they reported, 24,000 sold?
Well, they always do that.
There might have been 12 or 13,000.
That's sad. That's Cleveland. That's Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
That's those kind of, and I don't think they have grasp of that you're losing people. You are not, forget about us. Forget about us. You've lost us a long time ago, but you're losing people that are loyal, that are faithful, if you will, like a trusted dog.
Yeah.
And they don't want anything to do with you
I'm
anymore.
a huge baseball fan. If I had to pay to get into the park, I wouldn't right now. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't have the last couple of years. And I think a lot of people are starting to feel that way. I think the tide has turned. I think the fans in this town have said, basically, enough. Now, they're still going to have nice attendance this year. They'll have over 2 million because it's a touristy area and a beautiful ballpark,
right.
and then right in the middle of downtown, and the weather here is beautiful in the summer.
They've got 22,000 built-in tickets. I've been able to filter through everything. That 22,000 is the number they have of partial and full season tickets.
So right there, you're going to have 1.7, 1.8 million.
Yeah, and then for fireworks and all that.
Yeah.
They're having a fireworks show
this Friday.
Yeah. When is
the Giants in town?
When is Memorial Day? Isn't that about 2 weeks away?
Yeah,
they're giving away flags,
and I don't think it's July 4th this weekend either.
Don't they even get that when Memorial Day is?
I do want to. Yeah, I do want to say one thing. I have not advocated.
Let's give away Christmas presents next month.
I have not.
Hanukkah in July.
I brought up the possibility that when things go this bad for a team, the manager might get fired. I'm not advocating that Walt Weiss be fired. All right, I just brought up the possibility, and I read the same article you did. It might have been on ESPN.com about the four managers who are in trouble, and I thought for sure Walt Weiss would be on that list simply because of the one-loss record, and he wasn't. And you know what I think it is? I think it's that people look at this franchise and say Dick Monfort can be loyal to a fault. He was with Dan O'Dowd and Bill Guyvette for a lot of years, and Dick Monfort has no intention of even considering the firing of Walt Weiss.
No, he thinks it's one of the great moves in the history of the franchise to hire Walt. Okay, do you fire the pitching coach who's brand new? Do you fire the
hitting coach? They can't hit. They can't hit at home. Now they ran into a pretty good pitcher last night in Cole Hamels, but they're not hitting at home now either.
You know what their home record is?
Oh yeah, they've only won 4 games at home.
4 games at home. You were supposed to be. I counted them up because I just. It's not the being in. I'm constantly confused, and so I counted up. There are 18 or 19 teams in baseball that have a 500 record or above at home. Now this is supposed to be the best home field advantage in the league. Not only are they not above 500, they're the worst home team in all of baseball.
Yeah.
And you look again, I looked at the pitchers and that story about Tyler Matzik. I mean, how many times have you heard that? I thought he was being shut down because he had arm problems.
No,
he's being shut down because he can't figure it out.
Late last week, with the Albuquerque Isotopes, after being sent down, he threw 1 inning, gave up 7 runs, walked 7 guys, gave up 6 hits. 1 inning.
Yeah, and they've shut him down.
Boy.
This was a guy that during spring training and late last year was being not a poor man's Dirk Nowitzki, but he was a blossoming Clayton Kershaw type. And when he came on Skype with us, he talked about how much he had copied him and how he wanted to emulate him.
I never thought he'd be Kershaw. I thought he'd be a nice 3 or 4 pitcher in the rotation.
Well, I didn't want him to be John Clayton.
It's just so bad there in so many ways.
Well, Eddie Butler can't find his way. I mean, he's hanging in there, but
he needs more seasoning is what he needs.
Yeah, and you know as well as I do that Kendricks had a couple of good outings, but
He's a
he got
500 pitcher.
Yeah, at best. De La Rosa was hurt again, and now he's struggling to, as Troy always says, find traction. And you look around and you go, this team. I looked at it. This team would have to win 80% of its games to have a chance at a wild card spot. And where are we? May 18th or something?
Yeah.
I mean, in order to get to 500, they've got to play like 600 ball. When have we ever seen them play 600 ball? 2009?
Yeah.
Maybe 2010 for a while?
I hate to say it because I want to see good baseball here as much as anybody. I predicted this before spring training even started, that this would be the worst rotation in all of baseball, and this was going to be a very, very bad year.
Well, I think we're going to have a final point on that. We're going to have a guest tomorrow, and we'll just kind of promote that, who has written something that, have you read his piece?
Who are you talking about?
James Merlat.
Oh, James?
Yeah,
he's coming in
gonna
tomorrow?
Join us, he is going to try and join us tomorrow. Well, if he doesn't. But
I did read his piece.
let me just say that
Yes.
the team should leave. That's what he wrote.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand where he's
going
going
with it. If
with
he is not here tomorrow, though, we need a segment on that, and
Yeah.
we'd like to get your response on that. James, and I mean, it's out there. James says, for the good of the Montforts and the good of this town, they should leave and go to Indianapolis. And I saw a lot of the comments he got saying,
So he'll be
"You're
a
the
bad
crazy
owner in
person."
Indianapolis. What's the, I mean...
Well, then he won't be our bad owner.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
will go away.